Hey, what's up, guys? It is January 27, 2020, 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time, BTC 87.48 on Binance, right? In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC. We're going to talk about the current breakout and where could we be expecting some sort of rejection or some sort of a big breakout to the upside, right? So it is kind of very aggressive right now as of now. Like the bulls basically pushing the price to the upside. We basically broke the hourly 100 EMA yesterday. Basically made a beautiful flag in this area, and then basically just push the price to the upside, came back, retest. Now we are basically breaking out to the upside, right? You can see clearly we basically making some sort of divergence on the hourly time frame. Price is moving to the upside, and basically our side is getting weaker and weaker. So at some point, if somebody is bullish and looking to get in, best time to be getting in would be like wait for the R side to basically get to this area of neutrality. It doesn't have to be oversold, but you could be waiting for like R side to at least retest like some sort of previous resistance, previous support, right? For further move to the upside, right? Most likely it's going to be cooling down very soon. It's not going to be pumping forever. So my expectation is like area of resistance is like basically 87 to 8900, and 87 it is roughly 50% pullback, right? 0.618 pullback, roughly around this area, like a 50% pullback all the way up to like 0.786. because if the bull is going to be coming up with a higher volume, they definitely going to be going to be able to push the price to the upside. So last night I was basically warning my members, saying like, okay, if like we're going to be pushing to the upside, most likely I'm going to be looking for 87 all the way up to 89, just a lot of position in that area, right? So basically if you long it in this from from the breakout, like from 8500, because we're shorting from like 8500 range. So from 85, after this pullback, we basically shorted at 85, roughly 8500, right? So 8500, it came back down and then pushed back up. So if it hits your stop loss, all you have to do just maybe flip the switch and take it to the upside up to like 87, 89, 87 to 8900, right? Can it break out higher? Absolutely. But as of now, that's what I see on the chart. Until we break 8900 to 8980 range, we still like could be facing some further move to the downside and retest like 8100 to a 77 area range. In terms of Elliott wave, what I see on the chart, we clearly got a three-wave move back, and then a clear move, another move to the upside. That's your W, that's the X, ugly X, right? X, and then we could be getting this Y correction to the downside, right? So I don't see any impulse wave. All this move, it is basically corrective. Nothing is basically linear. It is just corrective. The only linear move I'm seeing on the chart is like this impulse wave we got to the downside, like from 9100 all the way down to like 8400 range. That's the most impulse wave. After that, everything's been moving sideways, right? So even the push we're getting right now, it's not that impulse. It is just like it is coming out of nowhere. But it is not that impulse, right? It is just corrective based on this correction we got, right? So let me take a look at the chart room very quickly before we dive into the 6-hour time frame, the 0.786. Talk about the 4-day candle, the daily candle, the weekly candle, monthly candle, 21-day candle, right? It is going to be a very, very fun next 3 weeks. So it's going to be very, very volatile within all the way up to like a mid-February. Okay, I'm expecting high volatility all the way up to like February 14th, February 13th. So the next 2 weeks, right? Basically back on Friday. Let's see. So guys, don't forget to hit the likes and make sure to also subscribe to get the notification. Hit the notification so you can get these surprise live stream, right? So Bitcoin Cash breaking out heavily, Ether breaking out, but I'm expecting Ether up to like 174 range to 176 range, give or take, right? It could. Last time I missed Ether target by like 50 cents, right? 40 cents. When I was looking for Ether to short Ether at 172, Ether came up like 171.6, stuff like that. But this time I'm looking for a further. Hey, what's up, Aldo? Hey, what's up, Crypto Savage? I'm looking for basically to basically hit it, and then we could be looking for the low 60 to high 50 range right afterward. So hey, what's up, Hurt? K for Liberty, Grand Optimist. Basically, hey, what's up, Cycle? Grand Optimist asking when dump. I think Grand Optimist is where he's sitting like a basically sitting right around like a low 7K range. So he's still waiting for you know, being patient and waiting for BC to come back to him, right? So sometimes you gotta be patient, especially when you get a low average. You know, the overall structure is still bearish. No need to be panicking. Like I said, most people like to do crazy X's and stuff like that, 20, 30 X's, 50 X's, 100 X's. You're most likely not gonna last. A market is not gonna let you last too long. So but if you just do a moderate you know, leverage, stuff like that, 9 out of 10 market gonna come back to you. Okay, so let's say most people basically try to long BTC like in this area. You can see if you panic last time and not pay clear attention, BTC is, you know, you're going to be getting out and BTC is going to come back to you, right? Just like this, right? So if you basically short it in this area, like I said, do not short at the, you know, at the very bottom, right? If you try to short, at least short it like in the middle or like at the top. Do not short it like at the very bottom. It is very difficult to short at resistance. You should not be shorting at resistance, right? So you can see like you know, if you short it in this area, you might be even be able to wait, but you might wait like for a long time, like for BC to come back to you, right? So it's not going to be easy at all. Okay, but being patient sometime gonna be could be the best thing to do in this market. If you basically at the market you know, market basically running away from you, you're not going to be panicking and stuff like that. Just be patient and wait for the market to come back to you, right? It is pretty volatile, you know, just be very, very patient, right? So very, very patient. So first thing first, let's talk about we already talked about the 0.786 pullback. What I'm looking for, both on the lower degree, it doesn't matter, right? It's 0.786. So what I'm looking for, at least for the short term, I'm looking for a pullback to a 0.786 to a 0.618, right? We already broke this 50% pullback. That was the first initial target of 77. Next area going to be 8800, and then after that we're going to look for 89. It's almost 9K. Okay, I'm just rounding it down. I shouldn't be rounding it down, but it is almost like 9K, guys. It is like almost 89, 80, 89, 70. But just to front run the price, sometimes the best thing to do is just like you know, start shorting like 1% lower to 0.5% lower, so you won't be missing it like you know, missing the target to the upside. But let's say we break out to the upside, next target we could be looking for, let's say the bulls basically strong enough not to get any resistance at a 9K. We have to pay attention to like 1.27 to 1.41, which is like 9500 range. Okay, 9500 to 9600 range. I don't think we're gonna get there soon, but if okay, this area, you know, fails to like sustain a higher resistance, we most likely going to retest this area. So if I'm long in BTC, let's say you long in BTC, you just got to be able to be very patient. Okay, see like if we can hit that area, right? But taking profit at basically at 8900, it is 89 to 9K, it is basically also not a bad idea. Okay, not a bad idea, but most likely, okay, I'm leaning on like a resistance, a high resistance at 8900. Don't think like we can break it as of now, but if the volume is big enough, we most likely gonna break it. Okay, so the bulls are looking very, very very strong with the low volume, right? They're looking very strong with the low volume. So if they want to look strong with the higher volume, it's going to be very incredible for the next few hours, right? Let's take a look at the lower degree volume. The volume on the lower degree, let's say, I'm starting to see a small selling pressure, but not high enough to like let's see, not we got one in this area. I don't know if this one is relevant enough to count it, right? But it is big enough. Okay, that's the biggest selling pressure, even bigger than like the initial uptrend, almost, right? Like almost 90% of it. So this I could call this one like a scam wick, but we just have to be very careful not to call it a scam wick, because that's a 15 minutes time frame. So we just have to rely on the daily time frame, see like at what price level we're going to get the rejection. But we got some sort of a scam wick, scam volume in this like area. We also seeing like a, you know, high volume selling pressure with higher prices. So that's not good at all. That's a sign of weakness. So, you know, I think like the bulls basically they're losing steam, at least for the short term, but we just gotta give them like you know, a few more hours to get the initial, you know, 10,000 to 11,000 selling pressure on the hourly time frame. That's what I'm looking for, at least for the short term. So let's say I'm a trader and I'm scared to short right now. The best thing to do, wait for the initial sell-off. Okay, the initial sell-off, how do you know it's the initial sell-off? Just put a I like to put a basically let's see, like to check my volume, hourly volume. Just put a basically alert and put it at a, let's say 12,000. okay, 12,000 has been very consistent in terms of you know, selling pressure on the hourly time frame, but you can only use it on Binance. All right, so I like to use Binance, not Binance future, but you know, Binance regular exchange, right? Because you know, that's the most one of the most popular exchanges. So you just have to keep that in mind. So I only use it on Binance. If you use it on like a BitMEX, I don't think BitMEX give you some volume, but you know, on the on TradingView. But Binance at least pretty consistent. Okay, 12 hours, 12,000 selling pressure, most likely gonna give you a correction, okay, you know, for the next 24 hours or stuff like that, right? So you can see that's what I was looking for the last few the last sell-off, before the last sell-off, when BTC pumped like to 9200, I was waiting for this big sell-off. You can see we got it, dropped down to you know, hourly 100 EMA and hourly 200 EMA move sideways, and I was like 6 hour time frame. If we break it, we're gonna take the short. It's gonna be in a beautiful short opportunity as soon as we break this area. So we broke this area, we took the short down, and then it bounced back up to 85. We took it down also like in this area, but some prices, you know, pushing back up, hit stop loss, break into the upside. So it is that area of resistance. So let's see if we can break it, right? But I'm most likely with a high probability 8900 gonna give like a very high you know, resistance, right? It is going to be a very high resistance. What's up, FN Base? What's up, Club Fresh? So guys, if you're new to the content, make sure to hit the likes and make sure to subscribe. Make sure to basically join the public Telegram group. The link under the description. The link in the description. We also got a premium member if you want to upgrade to my premium member for daily analysis, weekly analysis, you know, MACD, RSI, you know, macro view, micro view, and all of that good stuff, right? So hey, what's up, Crit? What's up, Squirrel? We're not focused on like a 4 to 5K range. We just focus on this. We just try to focus on this area, and then after that we're gonna talk about the basically the macro level. All right, so if you haven't watched any of my macro level videos, just make sure to go to my channel and basically watch those macro level. You're gonna understand, right? But as of now, we're just gonna focus on the this breakout and what type of structure we could be looking for, you know, and then make a move to the downside, or basically get a further breakout to the upside if the bulls want to like basically be more aggressive, and then take the price to the upside with no mercy. Okay, with no mercy. They're not gonna be merciful. They're gonna basically if they get the volume, it's nothing the bears can do. They just have to break all resistances and then basically get the further move to the upside, right? So let's move on to the 6 hour time frame. 6 hour time frame, very incredible. 2 moving averages, basically I like to pay attention to. Basically it is like the 21 and also the 100 EMA. Okay, so when BTC was dropping from like 8700, we said do not pay attention to the 4 hour time frame, pay attention to your 6 hour time frame. Why pay attention to your 6 hour time frame? Because it is most likely the most reliable moving average within the last 2 to 3 months, right? So you can see like the type of rejection we were getting right around this area, and we also made a nice you know, three-way move correction in this area before the further move to the upside. Because I was watching this 6 hour 100 EMA when I shorted BTC down to like 8800 range. I was like, I don't want to short BTC below 7k. I'm getting out, right? So and I got out like at 6800, right? So, and I was looking for this move, could possibly make a one-to-one extension from this area to that area. It did that exactly. So we just have to be very careful. The 6 hour time frame is very, very incredible. It is very incredible. Okay, so basically we got the support from 100 EMA. Now we're pushing back up. I'm looking for rejection. If we get the rejection with higher volume on the lower degree 1 hour time frame, get that 12,000 to 14,000 selling pressure on Binance. Make sure to set your alert right on Binance, 12,000 at least, you know, on the hourly time frame. It is going to be a good short opportunity. All right, it is going to be a good short opportunity. But as of now, I would just like a lot of positions slowly. Do not basically go all in like at 8700, even though like I'm looking for a range of 87 to 8900 range. Just ladder in slowly, okay, and try to put like the highest basically highest position at 8900 and above, not put the highest position at 8700, right? So it is very good to be very patient in this market. Very volatile. Sometimes you have to wait for a couple of days to get your position filled. So just gotta be very patient. And talking about this structure, right? You can clearly see it on the daily time frame. It is we basically making the same type of structure we basically made in this area with the WX correction. We got this three-way move down and then this three-way move up. If you switch back to the lower degree, you can see clearly, you know, this is basically making the same type of structure, right? You got three-way move down, three-way move up. Can it push high all the way up to 0.786? Absolutely. The reason why I'm looking for 0.786 is pretty simple, right? You can see back in July when we said like a basically gonna pull back up to like a 12k range, 13k range, right? You can see we pull back up to 13k range and then pull back up to like a 0.786, right? So on the current state of the market, we could be repeating the same structure. We have not pulled back yet to 0.786, right? So just to be safe, 0.786 is the safest, basically one of the safest spot to basically put the highest position, just in case you know, it gives us a big wick to the upside, right? I'm not saying we absolutely have to get it because we had 0.618, but 0.786, it is a safe entry. Okay, a lot of position all the way up to 0.786, right? So hey, what's up, Finickies? So we're going to talk about the weekly MACD. We already talked about it, and I'm going to give you a you know, my insight regarding the weekly MACD, right? So let's take a look at the 12-hour time frame. So 12 hours still looking good. Also, no sign of rejection. Volume. My only concern on the low on the 12 hours is like, you know, we're still moving below average. Okay, like since like we broke this area of you know, this moving average on the volume, you can see like the volume we got right around this area was like 42,000. Okay, so since then we've been moving like below moving average. Okay, average right now is like a 19 to 20,000 every 12 hours. So right now we just moving below it. Okay, no, even though it is increasing, right, we just have to be very careful. It can increase all the way up, and then this volume, if like this volume is red, you know, I think like the bear is gonna be stepping in, right? So we just have to be very careful within the next few hours to see like if the 12-hour, the current 12-hour candle going to be bullish, right? It is very important to basically pay attention to our 12-hour time frame, right? So cleanly also 100 EMA on the 12 hours, similarly to the 6 hour, basically been acting as a resistance, broke it, almost came back and retested, but the 21 EMA you know, basically stay in between. Okay, the 100 and then the price supported it, and then we got this move. So now we're dropping down, most likely the next drop. Okay, we have to pay attention to our 100 EMA on the 12-hour time frame. That is going to be our next area of support, right? So it could be moving like this, right? So it is going to be roughly around like 8k range. Okay, 8k range. So any rejection, support going to be 8k. Okay, it's not going to break it that easy, but it's too soon to talk about like 8k range right now. But you just gotta keep that in mind in case we get the rejection. Next area of support, 12-hour 100 EMA. Okay, 12-hour 100 EMA. So another time frame I like to take a look at is like when you take a look at the 18 hours. 18 hours, I like it because of volume. It gives you like a clean volume. Okay, the volume been basically depleting as we dropping down, so it is pretty normal for basically BTC start trending up. Okay, so it is nothing wrong when you take a look at it on the 18 hours. That's the only thing I need on the 18 hours volume. Beside that, I don't care about moving averages and none of that rest, right? In regard to when I take a look at the 18 hours. If you want to pay attention to clean basically clean volume structure, see like if volume is depleting or increasing, blah blah blah, 18 hours is your best friend. Okay, 18 hours is your best friend. You can see a big separation in terms of volume while price is decreasing. So let's see if the bulls gonna be able to break this trend line with a higher volume. That's my only concern. If they do that, guys, they could be they could be hanging tight at 8900 range, right? Even though I'm bearish, guys, you guys know I'm 60% bearish, but still, you just gotta give credit to the bulls if they're doing something very incredible, right? So we got, we're gonna talk about that type of divergence. We got the monthly time frame crossed bearish already, and then we also got the weekly crossing bullish. So which one of course the weekly is more eminent, right? It is it is more current. So monthly gonna take like 30 days to give you a reaction. Weekly only gonna take 7 days to give you some reaction. But we're gonna talk about the weekly time frame in detail analysis, and then basically see what could we be expecting at least for the short term, right? So now let's move on to the basically weekly time frame. Weekly time frame pretty incredible. As you can see, like we're moving on top of the 21 EMA. We talked about it last week. We said exactly it's not going to be easy to break 8200. 8200, great area of confluence, right? You got your 6 hour basically 100 EMA. You got your weekly 21 EMA. You got your daily 21 EMA. All conversion at basically 8200. So I was like, it's not going to be easy to break it. So we just had to put a stop loss, right? And in case like the bulls decide to utilize like the that convergence and basically push the price to the upside and give us a big breakout, right? So basically let's just wait within the next few weeks. We could be just making some sort of in the bullish scenario. Okay, if the bulls once they can make some sort of a bull flag within this range the next like 2 to 3 weeks, right? So you just got to be very careful. Market doesn't move like this. Okay, market move like this, right? So you got to be careful. If you're expecting like a 20-30k within the next few months, stuff like that, you just got to be very careful, right? So 21 EMA holding the price very strong. Weekly volume very incredible in terms of like a bullishness. So that's a good argument for the bulls right now. It's something like you cannot deny. If you bearish, just acknowledge like, hey, the bulls been doing something very incredible the last 4 months, right? Since October, stuff like that, right? Since October they've been holding the price straight, above like a 65 to 7500 range, and at the same time they've been dominating the volume. Okay, you take a look at the volume, pretty much very incredible. Okay, like bang bang bang. Okay, you see like the red volume, okay, very low compared to the selling pressure. So I was expecting like capitulation, get this type of a selling pressure, and drop the price down from like this area, drop this price down all the way down to like somewhere around like below 6k range, right? Just to like give us some sort of like I wouldn't say like a bias, basically fulfill our bias, but give us some sort of a capitulation move, right? And we're gonna be like, oops, we got a big volume selling pressure, price most likely now gonna be trending sideways and push it upside. But it seems like the bulls basically, they don't want price to drop below 600, right? I mean 6,000, okay, not $600, so 6,000. So but volume, basically the bulls, okay, just to cut it short, bulls dominating the weekly time frame. Okay, that's what it is. But the macro level, okay, the macro level, bears dominating the macro level. Okay, so you can see this big volume we received like back in July, when I was like, if we close the weekly candle with like the monthly candle with like 1.5 to 2 million volume, and we get a shooting star on the weekly, it's going to be very bad, right? And that's exactly what we did back in like June, right? So I would love to see like a 600,000 to 700,000 selling pressure on a weekly time frame to be comfortable, right? But and I would love to see also like a 600 to 700,000 buying pressure on the weekly time frame to be like a fully bullish. If I get like a 600 to 700,000 buying pressure in any given week, I'm definitely gonna be switching side, and I'm gonna be bullish and just betray the bears, right? So and then go with the bulls, right? So at least for the short term, that's what I see. Okay, hey, what's up, boss? So let's take a look at the weekly MACD. Weekly MACD, very incredible. They did something great. So we just have to acknowledge it. Okay, the weekly MACD crossing over is bullish. Okay, but does it mean we're gonna be pushing to the upside? You gotta remember last time we got this crossover, right? We did get a crossover back in like October, right? October 2018. We did get a crossover, but did we manage to push higher? No, we did not. Okay, we're getting another crossover. You can see like a histogram turn positive right around this area for like almost 4 weeks. So that's the first week we turned in positive right now, right? It is it's not negative anymore. So just because we got a bullish crossover doesn't mean we're going to be pushing to the upside. In terms of 4-day candle, I'm also going to show you, right? In terms of 4-day candles, 4 and 5 day, okay, 5-day chart, 4-day chart, 3-day chart, we're getting like a lot of bearish momentum building up. Okay, so price just pushing to the upside doesn't mean like we are in the bull market. I'm still going to be very careful, right? And you pay if you pay also clear attention on the volume back in October 2018 all the way from roughly August all the way August through October, right? Like just about this area, basically volume was also incredible, right? Volume was also very, very good. You can see this volume was bigger than any of the previous volume almost. Okay, they've been moving like above average, but regardless, you can see we got a capitulation move. Okay, we capitulated down almost like and volume was, that time was like 500,000. Okay, it was low compared to our current volume, but you know that time 500,000 volume was pretty big back in basically 2008, right? So you can see the volume we got right around this area was like 700,000. Okay, not even way bigger than like the capitulation move. And I was like, guys, that's it, man, we might be facing some sort of downtrend. So 9600 is very possible. We already talked about 9600 and if the case of 9600 on the lower degree, right? So let's take a look at the 4-day candle. Okay, the 4-day chart, it is basically showing me like a I'm looking at let's do this. Okay, what I'm looking at on the 4-day candle is pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm looking for some sort of death cross, right? I'm looking for some sort of death cross. You can see back in roughly August, July, September, all the way up to October, right? Right before the death cross, you can see volatility basically we decreased just about like this area after we pushed it upside, right? Volatility basically decreased a lot, like from September to November, but we did push it upside above the 211 EMA. You can see we did not, on the 4-day candle, we did not get this crossover the first time. Okay, similarly, that's the same thing we're doing right there. Okay, even though I'm looking for the 5-day candle to give us a crossover, I'm looking for this crossover on the 5-day candle. Okay, the 5-day chart, right? That's what I'm looking for. But the 4-day chart, right? You can see it, guys. Similarly, we talked about this like the last 3-4 weeks. We've been saying it like, even though we're looking for a crossover, this move we could also get it from BTC. Similarly, okay, that's the same exact move we make it. Same exact move, just in terms of like a candle patterns and stuff like that. We're making the same exact move, and you can see like how the 21 EMA, basically the yellow line is 21 EMA and then the red line is like 100 EMA. Basically 21 EMA moving above this 100 EMA, you can see it. Okay, we're making basically the same exact move. So what I'm looking for, at least for the short term, I'm looking for a price to come back down and break the 100 EMA on the 4-day chart. Right now it is like 7,800, but we do not want to break, we do not want to drop down to 7,800 before end of the month. It's going to be extremely bearish. Okay, and I'm going to show you within the next within the next I'm going to show you next why within the next 4 day 5 days, if like we close below 7,800, it's going to be like basically another 6 to 8 months of downtrend, stuff like that, right? So I'm paying attention like to a 4-day chart and 5-day chart, right? You can see like the 5-day chart. I'm looking for the absolute crossover between the 21 EMA and 100 EMA. If like we get it, that's it. It could be basically a very bearish, at least for the short term, right? So on top of that, I want to take a look at the basically the 3-day chart, BLX. Let's go on BLX. So let's take a look at the 3-day chart, right? The 200. Okay, the 3-day chart depth cross, we could be getting it within the next few weeks, few months. So right, 3-day. Okay, the 3-day depth cross. Okay, the 3-day depth cross, we could be getting it very soon. We're already moving above the 21 not 21, we're moving above the 50 MA right now, and we just have to sustain a high volatility above it just to stay above it, right? So otherwise we could be breaking going down below the 50 MA on the 3-day chart, right? So you can see similarly, that's the same exact thing we did like before the crossover. So we just have to be very careful, right? If you want to be bullish, I want to see like basically breaking out like clearly above the 50 MA on the 3-day chart. Otherwise we could be definitely facing like further sell-off, basically, so some more sell-off. So the depth cross most likely going to cause like a 50 to 45 to 50% drop if like we're going to get this depth cross. So similarly, if you go back in 2014, we got the depth cross, right? You can see like a BSC drop almost let's double check it. Right after the depth cross. Okay, that's a 50% drop right at the depth cross, right after, and could be looking for what, another 50% drop. So within the next few months, okay, few weeks, okay, I'm not sure how long it's gonna take to get this 3-day depth cross. If like BSC wants to keep dropping, we cannot avoid it. And if we are basically very close to our basically depth cross, we most likely going to get our 5-day chart. Remember the 5-day chart, also the 21 EMA and the 100 EMA, they're going to be crossing over probably the same time we're going to be getting this depth cross also. So it's going to be very powerful, but we know what to look for if we get this depth cross, right? I'm pretty confident, like at what price level I'm looking for BC to basically get a temporary bottom before reversing back up, right? I already showed you, but we're gonna go back to it. Like once we get the depth cross, we're gonna definitely look for a possible bottom, right? Hey, what's up, makers? So let's go back to my previous chart layout. So next thing we're going to focus on BTC is going to be the weekly time frame, right? I mean a monthly time frame before we talk about the weekly basically when we talk about the 21-day chart, right? The monthly time frame, I don't expect like within the next 4 days. I do not expect like BTC to drop all the way down to 7K. Okay, it's gonna be really bad like for the bears if I mean for the bulls if like bears like drop the price all the way down to you know even 7800 range. We do not want to drop down to anywhere around like a 75 to 78 range within the next 4 days, right? That's going to be really bad. So you can you just imagine how the monthly time frame going to look like? The monthly candle going to look like this. Okay, if like we drop below like a below basically 7500 range, right? It's not going to look good. I'm not saying it's going to be red, but I'm just saying like we're going to be getting like a big wick to the upside. That's not good at all. And something also we talked about like previously, we said whenever we get a not whenever but most of the time when we get this bearish crossover on a monthly time frame, the following month it tends to turn bullish. Okay, so we got one right there. Okay, right before the crossover, the very next month was actually very bullish, right? So and everything happened like right around this area of 21 EMA on the monthly time frame. So we just got to keep that in mind. Just because we're bullish doesn't mean we're going to be going to the moon. Monthly Heikin-Ashi, we haven't seen any bullish candle since like August. So that's the first basically bullish candle, and it is not even that bullish. It is a big tail, big wick, small body. Yes, absolutely, it is a sign of reversal, but we just have to be very careful. We got one right there. We continue the downtrend. So let's just be cautious. Even if this candle like turns bullish, I'm still going to be careful until I see like a 700,000 to a 600,000 buying pressure on the weekly time frame, and I'm going to start being bullish, right? I'm going to be at least I'm going to be neutral, at least starting to be neutral to bullish, right? If we get 700,000 buying pressure during the next few weeks, right? But if we get 700,000 to 600,000 selling pressure in any given week, also I'm going to be bullish, because if we're going to drop like the price with a 700,000 selling pressure, it could be like a capitulation move, right? That's the only way I could be looking at the structure of the market as of now. Like if we get a 700,000 to 600,000 selling pressure, price could be looking like this. Okay, a big capitulation move, just like what we got back in basically November 2018, right around this area on Binance. We got like 500. If we get like 700 to 600,000, could be could be pretty much the bottom, right? I would at least like assume like BTC has bottom, right? So guys, make sure to hit the likes, make sure to basically subscribe, make sure to upgrade to our premium member. If not, you can join our public Telegram group, where we basically talk about like a structure, setup, stuff like that. We got crypto cow, we got a lot of people out there, with some beautiful setups, right? Setting up giving you like a beautiful setup for price, in regard to price action and good stuff like that, right? So let's move on to Ether, guys. I'm just gonna make it a very short live stream. Let's move on to Ether. What I'm looking for, Ether, I'm looking for 174 to 176 range for a possible reversal pattern. It doesn't want to push that high anymore after I basically I started to look for Ether 170. For some reason Ether is lower on BYBIT, right? But that's what I'm looking for, at least for the short term. For Ether, we had resistance, so it is pretty normal for price to take a break at 169 to 170 range. But I'm also looking for roughly around like a 0.786. You can see 0.786, it is like a 173 174 range, right? So that's one of the reasons I'm looking for Ether to basically retest that area with a possible wick to the upside. But 173.5 to 174.5, it is going to be a nice area for the bears basically to be stepping in, and then look for some basically temporary rejection, right? Could be temporarily, and if we get the rejection, definitely I'm going to be looking for like a low 160 range, okay? And look for this 100 EMA on the 6 hour at some time, within the next few weeks, to basically be acting as a support, just like BTC, okay? Just like BTC. This 100 EMA on the 6 hour time frame, right? Very important, very important moving average. You can see it. Let's just do this. You can see it like been acting as a support right around this area of 134, push back up. That's a 5-way structure, 3-way move down. Okay, we got this 3-way move down, but this one also a 3-way move down. Can we get this 3-way move down before a push back up and a retest of the low? Possibly we can definitely make that structure, right? So, but as of now, like, it is making a ABC correction. Most people love ABC correction, but the market is moving so much, like, you know, I just don't like ABC correction after a big move. I like a WXY correction, which sometimes give you a better, you know, a better strategy to basically look for lower numbers and higher numbers at the same time, right? For instance, we can look for this move. Instead of saying like it's gonna keep going down, you're gonna be like, okay, we could get another 3-way move down, right? So this way you're gonna get this sort of falling wedge, a possible double top before looking for more move down, right? So this way you're gonna get your W, X, Y, you know, you get your, you know, reversal pattern to retest the top, basically some sort of divergence, right? On the higher degree, you're going to get some sort of divergence. After that, MACD could be making some on the high degree, MACD could be making lower high on the higher degree daily or 2-day chart, and then you're going to be like, oops, we retested the top, MACD right there, you know, basically not breaking the previous high, so it is pretty much bearish. That's a setup I see on the Ether, but we're going to take a look at it within the next few days, see like how Ether going to be reacting, right? So, but BTC exactly at 87-8900 range. So let's take a look at XRP next. XRP, I was looking for 230 to 233. Exactly, we hit 230, which is like a 50% pullback. But are we going to get rejected? So absolutely, I'm looking for XRP to get some sort of rejection from 50% to 0.618, which is like 232, right? 232 range all the way up to let's say 24, okay, 23 to 24 range, right? Can XRP push to like a 0.786? It can, right? But I don't think it's strong enough right now to push all the way up to like a 0.786. But if it does, it's going to be a great area of opportunity for the bulls basically to for the bears basically to step in and then take advantage of this this high volume XRP been creating, right, with a low momentum. Okay, so they could be coming in and then bring like higher momentum and then look for some further drop to the downside. So XRP pretty much it's not looking bad. Okay, it's not looking bad. So I would give it like a better I would give it like some sort of a time, just give it like few more hours just to see like how it is going to react in this area, because you could say like we're making a bear bull flag and then we could be attempting to go to 0.786 just like BTC. So even though I'm bearish, at least for the short term, 6-hour 21 EMA, so most of the time is very strong. That's what I was expecting BTC to do, right? Jump above the 21 EMA and stayed above the 21 EMA on the 6-hour, but it just give us a breakout. But XRP is doing exactly that. So if we break this 23 to 24, I'm just going to look for this 26 not 26 but 24.5 range, okay, which is like 0.786. Could get a higher, you know, tough time to break like a 24, right? Could get a very, very tough time to break 24 range. Look at the beautiful CNH on EOS, right? So we're gonna take a look at EOS next, right? So let's take a look at EOS. So EOS basically yes, we talk about this structure we got. It is a flat correction, a double bottom right around this area. It is pushing back up. Okay, it is pushing back up, but the only thing about EOS is like if we're gonna break this area, we just have to MACD is not giving us a good opportunity to be bullish on EOS, right? So let's say we retest like the area of $4 range, right? And MACD is still like struggling to push higher. Okay, that's not good at all. Okay, I wouldn't be too bullish on EOS if like we push all the way up to $4. We're already at $4, right? And our MACD is not that strong. Okay, we got this beautiful divergence. We could be making also another divergence right there, and then probably retest this top it's not going to be good. So EOS basically going higher, the higher it goes but doesn't break 4K, it's gonna be it's gonna be very bearish, at least for the short term. Even though I was bullish on EOS when EOS was making this move, I was like, that's a bullish pattern, right? A double bottom, a push to the upside is very probable on EOS, right? But it's not going to be bullish anymore. Like MACD, not looking good. Okay, not looking good. So let's try to break 4K, right? $4 range first, and then see what type of basically a structure we're going to be getting on the daily time frame. I don't see that on the daily time frame. You can see like, oh, we're probably gonna get this MACD crossing over again, but let's see. Okay, RSI is not giving us a chance also, right? It is giving us this move. Okay, we could be facing also a double top, right, on the daily time frame. So let's see. Beautiful support from the 21 EMA, just like BTC. Okay, beautiful support from the 21 EMA. So if we start to sell off, next area to look for support for EOS going to be this 100 EMA on the daily time frame. Okay, it could be moving like linearly like this, okay, and support the price. So not sure if like the sell-off going to be quick on EOS. So that's a three-way move and a pullback WX, and then we could be getting this Y correction down to like a 3.3 again, to like a roughly $3 range. All right, so if we get the sell-off, that's what I'm looking for, at least for the short term for EOS, right? So okay, on the daily, you're looking for a cup and handle. It's there, but it's there. Okay, it's there. Let's you could be saying like it started from here, right, all the way up there, right? So but how low the handle can be, that's why you need to be careful. Okay, the handle can be all the way right. I mean, the handle could drop all the way down here, right, and then you're gonna get this move, right? So it's not guaranteed this area is your the end of your handle. Okay, so let's just be cautious on regarding the handle, right? But it's not looking bad. It is it is beautiful. Push to the upside, drop three-way move down, pushing back up. I like to see this first. Okay, I like to see this correction first, and then get more confirmation, at least for the short term. But I would love to see EOS break this area. That's going to be very bullish. I could be definitely looking for this one-to-one extension if we break it. So that's going to be like almost 550 range. 550. You go back in like July 2019, a beautiful area of support, right? Drop down to like roughly 550 to like $6.2 range, 6.2 range, and then been basically moving sideways. So but let's see if like we can break the $4 range. Okay, that's pretty valid if we break the $4 range, and then saying like the 21 EMA basically supported the price. We got a three-way move, and then impulse wave back up, probably a small drop before pushing. But I'm not gonna be I'm not looking at EOS that way as of now. I'm looking at the bearish momentum, which is like another drop down to the 100 EMA on the daily. Okay, this move, that's what I'm looking for if we get this rejection, right? So yeah, so let's move on to basically the Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash pulled back to 370. As we said last time, not to be too bearish, give Bitcoin Cash like some more weeks or days to basically digest that big move, and it did that. We're looking for like a $300 to 290. It dropped down to 297 and pushed back up to basically 350 range, 375. So okay, so basically we could be looking for a better correction, that 3.3, and then we could be looking for this drop back down. So the way we're gonna be is the type of support we're gonna get at the $280 to $300 range. Once we drop back down in this range, going to define like which way Bitcoin Cash we're going to go, right? Just like what we just talked about regarding EOS, right? EOS on the lower degree give us that type of structure. So we could be looking for a flag in this area. I wouldn't be too bullish, just because like it is pretty clear. All right, we could definitely push back up to even like $400, right? Retest the top and then get the move back down. This way we're gonna get our basically RSI to retest the low and then get more momentum for the next leg up. Okay, so this move is already tired, you know, started like since like December, right? Since December we've been pushing to the upside, so RSI need to reset. Okay, like it doesn't have to be oversold, but if like we retest like the you know 40, our RSI 40 range, like a 40 to 45 to 35 range, it could complete this flat correction, and then you know the 100 EMA on a daily could also, you know, join the price action and support the price right around this area. We could be getting like a nice convergence. So and look for a beautiful move to the upside. That's a bullish setup I see, but as of now the bearish setup, okay, it is like to retest. The bearish setup is like to retest this area, okay, like a rough around 250 to like a 236, okay, but we're just gonna have to break this to you know 382 range, which is like what we talked about last time, which was like a 290 range, but we dropped all the way down to 290 or 297, just like BC got a support from 21 EMA. Sometimes your 21 EMA doesn't let you drop to your basically 382 just because it is moving so fast and most people respect it. So if you get a big impulse move, most of the time your 21 EMA, if your 21 EMA is below or at your 382, most of the time price gonna drop down to 382. But if your 21 EMA is above like a 382, sometimes it doesn't let price. You can see, you know, it happened on BTC, and now you can see it on Bitcoin Cash also, right? So Bitcoin Cash current pullback on Fibonacci retracement. We already just about 0.618, 0.786, right? It's already almost at 0.786. So that's what we're looking for BTC to do. But Bitcoin Cash seems to already retested 0.786 and also retested almost 50% of this rejection wick on the daily time frame. You guys know I like, you know, price to go back retest like a 1/3 to like a you know 30 to 75% of the wick, just about like this area to that area. Okay, so which is also, you know, 0.786 pullback. So let's move on to Litecoin. Litecoin retested like the $52 range we were expecting, which was like roughly 382 also, right? So which is also 382 pullback, just like BTC. Now it is pumping back. So guys, let's just be very cautious. Okay, it is just a pullback from 382. Let's break the top with no divergence, and let's see if price gonna get a high momentum. But Litecoin just pulled back like to 0.618 roughly, which is like $58. So next area to look for Litecoin, it is going to be like $45 to like $47. Can we break $60? Absolutely, we can break it if the volume is going to be high enough. Let's take a look at it on different exchange. Volume is very low. You can see on Coinbase volume is low. The Bitfinex volume is low. Binance volume is not that bad, right? So Litecoin, that's what we were looking for. You can see our previous analysis, right? We were saying like Litecoin to retest $51. Guys, guess what? We tested exactly $51. That was our previous analysis. Now it pushed back up to a roughly 0.618, right? That's 0.618 pullback from which is pretty normal, guys, to get a pullback from when we hit like 382 to get a pullback and then retest like 0.618. So we just have to pay attention to $44 Litecoin right now. Okay, $44. So let's see, volume is pretty low. You can see like even though we're pushing to the upside, you can see volume, it is still below average. Okay, volume still below average. Okay, so basically the dominant trend right now, it is downward, right? But you could also argue, okay, this big volume, we need to get equal volume on the, a big selling, equal volume on a lower degree. I mean, yeah, not on a lower degree, but equal volume on the downside, right? In case like the bulls basically wake up and then come up with better volume also, right? So the selling pressure has to equal this big selling pressure we got in that area. So we just have to also keep that in mind. Volume is low basically. Okay, it is very low on Litecoin. So let's take a look at ICX. Some of you guys know I've been talking about ICX for the longest right now. I've been saying like accumulate ICX, you know, all the way down to 1400 sats, you know, 17 to 1400 sats. It dropped all the way down to 1400 sats. Some of us basically accumulated it. And you can see ICX right now, it is almost over 200, not 200, but 2000s, right? To the ICX BTC. Okay, you can see like it retested like 22, almost 23, but target is for ICX, target is like 27, okay, 2700 sats to 3200 sats. So let's see if like we're gonna be able to retest like 2700 sats, right? I'm looking forward to close above this 21 EMA on the weekly. That's a great sign of bullishness. So let's see if like we're going to be able to close above 21 EMA. Price is moving to the upside, volume is decreasing. That's not a good sign. So it could be, okay, it could be like we just started a new bullish weekly candle, so it is pretty normal for the volume to be low the first basically the first week, not the first week, but the first you know, first day, right? So because we got 6 more days to go. So but if like we turn bullish, you know, if like we close this candle bullish on the 21 EMA, it could give the bulls better momentum to retest like the 2700 range I've been talking about. So ICX from basically 1400 to 27, guys, that's over like a almost 50% move. So it's almost doubled, right? So almost 2800. So at least for the short term, that's what I see on ICX. Retest of 27. So some of you guys like in the group also bought ICX like at 1400 sats, took profit at 21 2000 range, and then, you know, let the rest go, right? So next coin we're going to talk about, it is basically Nano. I don't talk about Nano much, but similarly to ICX, when I told you like ICX was in an accumulation move, so Nano is also in an basically accumulation move, right? I don't expect it to basically break out within the next few days, stuff like that, but could just just accumulate within the next few weeks. It could give a beautiful return, right? Let's take a look at Nano. Nano BTC still below 8,000 sats, and I think like 8,000 sats, it is a beautiful setup. 8,000 sats is it? I mean, it is pretty much like a very cheap for Nano. Similar setup to ICX, guys. So either, okay, like this area, okay, we could push back up or retest it and push back up. Either way you look at it, we got a MACD divergence, RSI divergence, and that's a weekly time frame, not even daily. Okay, so I would be definitely looking for this push to the upside within the next few weeks. Okay, I don't expect it, like I said, I don't expect it this week, next week, or even like in February, but if it comes, great. Okay, retest of this even 21 EMA going to give you 25% move. Retest of the trend line going to give you 30% move, right? So at least for the short term, that's what I see on Nano. Let's move on to ADA. ADA also basically give us a small breakout, not too strong. I'm still looking for 650, but we need to close above the 21 EMA, just like ICX. It is struggling on just about this 21 EMA weekly, so we just need to break it and then try to like retest like 650. Okay, 650 is just like a previous resistance, guys. So nothing crazy about ADA, all right? So at least for the short term, I'm still looking for ADA above like a 600 sats, right? So all right, guys, if you guys don't have any question regarding any alt, we're just gonna call it a day. And then basically hey, what's up, Mr. BU? Thanks a lot, man. So if you guys don't have any alt you want to talk about, we're just going to call it a day. And then basically I'm going to give you guys another update. Tezos looking good. We talked about it in our group. We said like a Tezos goodbye. Weekly 21 EMA basically supported the price. Also on the lower degree, let's take a look at it. On the lower degree also, like you got your 100 EMA when when we've been moving, like when Tezos was moving on just about like a 126, 127, I was like, Tezos is a good buy. Now we're dropping back down to basically a 21 EMA, so we could be looking for this double top. Okay, look for this double top divergence. It could basically give us another move down if we do not basically avoid this bearish divergence, right? So it's not going to be looking good, at least for a short term. But I could be still, okay, I could still look for this move to the upside. Volume is decreasing, price is decreasing. That's a good sign, at least for the bulls to take advantage of this low volume, slow bleed, and take advantage of this 21 EMA again, and then get this move to retest the top, okay, 160 to 180 range. All right, so but if you bought at like a 127, 130, right now we at 150 and we retested 160, it is still a good profit. You could still take profit and let the rest go up, right? So I didn't see your message, but I already talked about Tezos, right? So I mean, ADA, do I expect it 500 to basically 516? It is only 3%, guys, unless you're leveraging it. But I would say like instead of ADA been like around like a 400 to 500 for the longest right now, I wouldn't be panicking even if like we drop below 500 sats. Okay, so I would still be accumulating even below 400, because we haven't seen a big move from ADA. So, and you can see sometimes, guys, you just gotta be very careful and at the same time be very patient, because you see like what happened to Ether Classic. Okay, Ether Classic last year I bought it like I think like 350 range, but I was tired of it moving so slow, so I got rid of it like after that, like after it gave us a a little push last year, got rid of it. But you can see if I had like been holding my basically Ether Classic, like I could be selling it like a $12 or like a at least $11. But sometimes you just gotta be careful, because if you just want to see like the gains, like buy today, it's not 2017 anymore, it's like 2020, guys. 2017 basically was like 3 years ago. So 2019, 2020, 2021, it's like you got to be able to look at the market, buy and huddle for like 4 to 8 weeks and let the price action do the work, and then you collect your money later on. But if you want to buy 400 sats, 500 sats, and you want ADA to go to 1200 sats like the next 2 weeks or stuff like that, you're going to be very stressful. Okay, you're going to be very stressful. So just like ICX, I've been saying it since October, just buy ICX, from 1700 sats to 1400 sats, accumulate. You can sell it up to like a 27 to 3200, right? Not sure if it's gonna hit it like within the next few weeks, but we almost hit like 22. So and we also got Nano at 8000 sats, looking pretty good. So and other coins like ZILLIQA also looking good at like basically 660 sats. Last year when ZILLIQA was 120, I was like, ZILLIQA gonna drop 50%. It did that exactly. Now we're holding just about 50 sats. Great area to be accumulating ZILLIQA. Okay, all the way down even to 40 sats, right? Even if it drops that low. So let's take a look at ZILLIQA. Talking about ZILLIQA next. Okay, ZILLIQA, it is roughly around it is a beautiful triangle. This triangle, it is basically similar to Neo. So so I'm looking for, if like we retest like 50 sats, it is going to be a good buy. Okay, good buy. And then you could just wait like for the next few months, stuff like that, few weeks, and basically, because you're not leveraging it. It's not financial advice, but if you're not leveraging 50% gain in any given 6 months, it is a good return, guys. It is a good return, at least for the short term. So you want to buy ADA below 500. You could even get it below 500. Let's take a look at ADA. But I gave like a big warning on ADA like almost 2 months ago when ADA was like 400 sats, right? Right around this area, 400, and I keep saying it like 450, 480, stuff like that, right? So 400 sats. Yes, we can definitely drop back to 400 sats. 400 sats is the daily 21 EMA. Okay, so it's not a big deal to retest 400 sats, right? So I would be buying ADA within this range, even if even if it drops like below 400, I would still be buying, okay? Because I know we haven't seen a big move yet. This is just accumulation, okay? It is just accumulation, okay? Can we accumulate and capitulate? Yes, we can accumulate, capitulate, and then pump. So you got to keep that in mind. Just because I'm saying it can pump doesn't mean the pump gonna be like this, all right? It might not be coming from the current structure, but we could get nasty sell-off, and then price gonna pump after that, right? But since like we just huddling, no leverage, even if you buy, you don't worry, because you're not buying to basically get rich. You're just buying to accumulate, because that's not the bull market so far yet, right? We're not in bull market so far, at least for the short term. We're not in a bull market. So let's go back to BTC very quickly and see how the big boy is doing. Still holding at a 87.50 on Binance, 87.28. Let's take a look at lower degree. No sell-off. No, I don't see anything like a scary on the lower degree. So bull's looking very strong, man. So I don't see anything scary. The only thing I can say on the lower degree is like this big sell-off we got at just about like 12 hours, almost like 6 hours ago. So after that, I haven't seen anything like worth panicking, right? So I would just, if I'm long in it, just sit tight. If I'm short in it, just wait, right? That's the only thing I can see. Let's take a look at 5 minute. Looks like it is correcting. Yeah, 5 minute we could get this ending diagonal, drop down, corrective. So we could be looking for this move, right? So assuming like that's wave number 5, this ending diagonal right there could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there, okay? It dropped back down and retest. So you gotta remember, guys, whenever you get an ending diagonal and you get your wave number 5, let's say I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is my ending diagonal, right? Like this, right? With a 5 wave structure. Sometimes after the ending diagonal, price like to drop back down to your basically wave 4, okay? Wave 4 territory, like that's your 1, 2, 3, that's 4, that's an ugly 3, 4 and 5, right? So when you're getting this ABC correction, price like to come back down and retest like the wave 4, basically wave 4 support, right? So similarly, we just did that exactly and retest like wave 4. So did that and then make this 3-way move. So let's see if it wants to go high, okay? MACD got plenty of juice to do so. So if the bulls wants to push the price up, they got plenty of momentum. If the bears also want to push the price up, they can just get this rejection, okay? Because we already got 5-way structure in that area, okay? So hourly not looking bad in terms of bearishness, but not strong enough, right? Not strong enough. I don't like this volume, only like 2,000 selling pressure. That's not good at all. We gotta get at least 8,000 to 7,000, up to like a 12,000, right? But anything above 7,000 gonna be incredible, right? So anything above 7,000 selling pressure on the hourly will be great. All right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna give you guys a quick summary live stream later on when the daily candle closes. So you guys can stay up with the market, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.